good chiropractor, and what qualities does a chiropractor need to possess?
A good chiropractor needs to, or a good chiropractor, good doctor is pretty much similar. Both are patient-oriented, so you've got to be good at people skills. You'll be able to interview people, make people laugh, make people feel comfortable. People are coming to you. There are times where they are in a lot of pain, usually, or they need you for something. And it's an altruistic profession in the sense that, you tend to give treatment to your fellow human being, even if they can't afford your care, or if circumstances are different. And you got to do this even if your own circumstances are difficulty. So I try and imagine, leaving all my emotional baggage at the door. And then when I see the patient, I always say to them, you're the only one that's important to me now, and that's it. And I'm focused on you, and we try and get you better from there. So you got to be able to diversify your thinking, or be able to compartmentalize your emotions to be able to do that. And sometimes it's bad news. So you sometimes have to give bad news to people. And again, you got to stop that from bringing that sort of baggage home to your family. So you've got to, it works both ways. You've got to be able to do that. And that's one of the most critical parts of the job. The second part that's important is being able to know your information well, and then be able to apply the information. So learning that clinical knowledge and applying it in a practical way that suits the individuals probably are really one of the most important things as well. And because everybody's different. Everybody's got a different story. They come from a different age group. They come from a different location, cultural beliefs, and all that. So you've got to apply appropriately that clinical knowledge, because learning this textbook stuff doesn't mean that it actually translates into practical knowledge, but you gain that over time and learning from other people. I think that's, and then time management, I guess. Time management. So time management to get your patients seen on time, finish the treatment, and then be able to finish your day on time. Make sure your notes are correct, make sure your patient's handed over well if you can, or if you have to, and then getting home on time so that you can look after family. Yeah.
What advice would you give someone who is thinking of becoming a chiropractor?
In Australia?
Sure.
Okay. Well, to be a chiropractor, you've got to be dedicated. So it's a 5-year training program. It's fairly straightforward to get into. It's not as demanding as medicine. In terms of study, you've got to do well to graduate. It's a very competitive field. There's lots of chiropractors coming out now. So to distinguish yourself from the other person, you've got to be exceptional. And to be exceptional might be in terms of your academics, but also in your people skills. What would I suggest? The most important thing is to know what you're getting yourself into. And if you don't know that, then you're in trouble, because it's a long journey. And once you finish, it's the only job you can do. You can do other things. You can do insurance reporting in Australia anyway. You can do teaching or education. So there are other parts of the chiropractic profession you can be involved in. But if you're going back to Singapore, I would suggest that that's probably the only job that you'll be able to do. So if you can't do that job for whatever reason, such as physical reasons, like your hands are not working that well, your eyes are not working that well, you might be in trouble, because that is really all you can do for your living. It's not much else. So knowing that you want to do it is important, but knowing what's involved in it is also important. And the best way to do it is to team up with chiropractors who are good, and you can see what the day-to-day life is before you select that. Because once you're in it, that's pretty much it. Unless you decide to take a new profession or do something different, which a few people I know have, like myself, and I did medicine, but that still applies, because in a way, medicine is slightly different, because now I can do other things, but if my physical health was impaired, I could still do potentially teaching, or I could do jurisdictional work and working on panels. And you can do it as a chiropractor, but you're much more limited in doing that.